Hi guys, my name is Engineer Michael, and I'm that guy that is going to be teaching you everything that you need to know about project writing. Alright, so if you're just joining us, please kindly subscribe to the channel, like the video, and if there is anything that you want me to treat about project writing, kindly comment it in the comment section. Kindly write it down in the comment section. Alright, without further ado, let's move into the order of today. Alright, in my previous video, I treated the structure of project writing, and in that structure of project writing, I said that the structure of project writing is divided into four sections, which is the preliminary page, the body of the project or the project work itself, the references, and the appendix. Yes, I said so. And in that previous video, I said that each section has components, of which I said that I will treat each component in subsequent videos. All right, so in today's video, I'll be treating the components of the preliminary page. Note, each of these pages, as I am explaining them, I will be displaying an example of each of these components. I'll be displaying an example of each of these components so that you will be able to understand properly as we go on. Okay. The first component is the title page or the cover page. Okay. So the title page or the cover page contains the project topic. It contains the project topic. It contains the author's information, that is the author's name. It contains the author's name, your school reg number. It contains the name of your institution, your department, um yes. So these are the things that are contained in the cover page or the title page, which is the first page of a project work generally. Right. Okay, moving on to the second component, which is the author's declaration. The author's declaration. Now, here the author puts down in writing that he or she is the rightful author to that particular project work. You are letting everybody know, including academic scholars are likely to uh, who are likely to bump into your work. You are telling any student that finds your work relevant to his or her studies. You are telling them that you are the rightful author of that project work. That is what author's declaration means. I hope that sank in well. Okay, moving on to the third component. The third component is author's certification. Author's certification. Now, the author's certification is a bit similar with author's declaration. Okay, but the difference between author's certification and author's declaration is that you are telling everybody that you are certified as you have been scrutinized and certified as the author of that project work by your project supervisor and other supervisors that that has asked you several questions concerning that project work, which you gave them the right answer. Okay, so you are telling other people that you went through a series of scrutiny, a series of examination by other academic scholars, other academic higher level staffs. Okay, you are writing it down that you went through examination through such people, and they have certified you as the real and rightful owner of that project work. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so the fourth component. The fourth component is dedication. Yes, dedication. Now, in this component, you, the author, you are writing it down that you are dedicating that project work to a certain person or some certain persons, or a being, because it's not everybody that is Christian. All right, you might equally be dedicating that work to a certain being that helped you, to that inspired you into writing that project topic. All right. Some people dedicate it to God. You can dedicate it to your late father. You can dedicate it to your late mother. That is if for those that and their parents are late, you can still dedicate it to your parents. You can dedicate it to your parents. All right. You can also dedicate it to yourself. All right, for inspiring yourself, because most times you're the one that inspired yourself towards writing that project. Let me give you an example. Assuming you are writing on a topic like influence of advertisement on advertisement on cowbell milk products. This influence of advertisement on cowbell milk products. Now, you you know that right from childhood you've known that milk called cowbell, even before Loya, Dano, other ones. Yeah, you've known cowbell as the milk of children. We knew peak milk as the milk of the rich, but cowbell is a common man's milk. All right. So assuming you want to write on the topic influence of advertisement on cowbell milk, you know that up right from childhood up until now, cowbell is still in the market and it's still booming. Like, even though a lot of milk companies are in market right now, cowbell is still one of the top five. All right, so you know that cowbell has been investing much money on in advertisement. So you would want to research on how advertisement has really helped cowbell milk company to be in the market up until now, because you know that after you've done that research, you will give other companies of other different products that might not be a milk product, but you will definitely give other people or business owners insight on how advertisement can help keep their business in the market. So that is you inspiring yourself. Okay. So you can dedicate that your project work to yourself. You can dedicate it to Almighty God. You can dedicate it to your parents. You can dedicate it to your late father or your late mother, for those that have late parents like me. Okay, I hope that is well understood. Okay, moving on to the fifth component. The fifth component is acknowledgement. Acknowledgement, right? So, in this acknowledgement, you, the author, is trying to appreciate us and salute people who must have given you people who must have given you support. Okay, people must have given you support in the course of writing that your project, right? So when I mean support, it spans all over. It might be people that gave you financial support, emotional support, physical support, psychological support, moral support, any support at all. Yes, there are people that might have helped you financially to get some things that you need, or maybe to transport yourself to where you can get informations and the rest. Some you might have gotten support from people that give you past work materials, that maybe they've had similar topic, and they decide to avail you the materials that they used in writing theirs. That is also a support. People that might have always encouraged you to do your best to keep on writing, that it might be a hard work, but you can do it. Moral support. Still, support is support. So in that acknowledgement, you are you are you are showing, or rather you are saluting and appreciating people that supported you in the course of writing your project, and also in the course of your education, you know all through your education journey. You are you are bringing them into writing by appreciating them, or rather, let me rephrase, you are appreciating them for what they have done for you by bringing them into the project work. So, bringing them into the project work is what you call acknowledgement. I hope that made sense. Yes, it did. Okay, to the sixth component, yeah? The sixth component is the table of content. Uh-huh. Now, this table of content is where every single component in the entire project work is contained. In fact, in this table of content is where you will find the four structure of a project work. The four structure of a project work. That is the preliminary page, which we are treating now, the body of the project or the project work itself, the reference, and the appendix. All right. So it is in this table of contents that you will see all the components of the first section, which is the preliminary page, the second section, which is the body of the project, the components, sorry, the components in the second section, which is the body of the project, and the third section, which is the reference, and the fourth section. All right. So note that in the second section, which is the body of the project work, you will see the components that are embedded in chapter 1, because the second section, like I said before, it has five chapters. Five chapters. So it is in this table of content that you will see the components that are in chapter 1, the components that are in chapter 2, the components that are in chapter 3, the components that are in chapter 4, and the components that are in chapter 5. All right. So it is in this table of contents that you will see every components and subtopics that is treated in that project work. I hope that made sense. Yes, it did. Okay, to the seventh component, which is the abstract. Okay, the abstract is a total summarization of all the information and analysis that you have gathered and put down in that project work. All right, that is abstract. The abstract in abstract, in abstract, you will find a brief literature of the that topic, a brief literature of the topic, a brief analysis of your research, a brief analysis of your research, or rather a brief totality of your research. You will put it down in the abstract, and and your summary, your conclusion rather, your conclusion and findings, your conclusion and findings. In fact, let me make this easy. Okay, let me make this easy. For you to write your abstracts, all you need to do is just go to the chapter 5, where you have summarization, conclusion, and recommendation. You just go to your chapter 5, and that summarization, that summary which you have done for the entire project, you will still summarize it again. You summarize it again and bring it to abstract. Summarize the conclusion you put there and bring it to abstract, and summarize the recommendation you give in that chapter 5 and bring it in into the abstract. These three things, if you still summarize it, you have gotten your abstract. That is abstract for you. I hope that makes sense. Yes, it does. Okay, guys, that is all for preliminary page. Although, and in cases like in the master's degree or PhD degree, you have you will see in their preliminary pages, you will see stuff like forward, you will see stuff like glossary, yeah, forward, glossary, yeah, something like that. There is a third one though, can't really remember, but that is not for you guys. You guys are degree project writers, not master. You are undergraduate degree project writers, not a master's degree or PhD degree. All right. So that is all for the components of preliminary pages. If you learned properly, if you know that you got something out of this video, kindly subscribe, like the video, and comment anything that you wish me to explain or discuss in this video, in any other subsequent video. Kindly comment it, even if it is a topic that you want me to treat. Kindly comment it in the comment, kindly put it down in the comment section. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.